Hello and welcome to this quarter's Pro Power Hour Product Edition. My name is Meagan Wood. I head up product marketing for the Asia Pacific region for Intuit, and I'm your host for today's session. Now, it's great to have you all join us today. But before we get started, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we meet today and to pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. Now, in today's Pro Power Hour, we're focusing on reporting, and there's two reasons for that. Firstly, we're well underway with a project to update our reporting platform from Classic View to Modern View, and we wanted to get you across that so that you had heaps of time to get familiar with the Modern View capabilities before Classic View goes away. And secondly, we've added more reporting functionality with the introduction of QuickBooks Online Advanced and wanted you to be across that as well. Now, before we get started, let me take you through some housekeeping. Today's event is being recorded, so we'll be providing everyone who is registered for today's event with a copy via email. So watch out for an email in your inbox so you can review any of the content that we share today, but potentially also share it with your team members. Now, as we have so many of you on the call today, we have put you on mute. However, we will be answering questions as we go. So if you have a question for us, please enter it in the Q&A panel on the right of your screen, and we'll aim to answer as many of those as we can. When it gets to demo time, I see the screen. To see the screen better, we recommend you click the maximize icon in the top right of your media player. You can return the player to its normal size by clicking reduce size. And if you maximize your video screen player, the Q&A panel will disappear. So if you do need to ask a question, just hit the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen and it'll pop up for you. So that's the one with the person with a speech bubble. And if you get super excited and you click away on way too many buttons and you just want to get back to viewing the presentation, don't worry, just hit the play button at the bottom of the screen and it'll pop straight back up for you. Now, if you're having technical difficulties with not being able to see or hear the presentation, we suggest restarting your device, refreshing your browser, or trying a different device. Again, you'll be receiving a recording of the session. So while it might not be as good as the real thing, no need to panic. You won't miss out on any content. And you can also hit the help icon, the one with the question mark at the bottom of your screen, to launch our troubleshooting guide, which also answers a number of frequently asked questions about issues you might be having. So that is our housekeeping out of the way. So let us move on. So you're in luck today. It's not just me you have to listen to. I've recruited Trent and Soonah to join the conversation. For those who might not know Trent, he's a director at Regional Business Services in Townsville. He's a BAS agent and runs a progressive bookkeeping practice. Soonah also runs a busy bookkeeping practice on the Gold Coast and recently merged her practice with another to form We Love Bookkeeping. Now, out the back, we have a few team members on keyboards ready to answer any questions you might have, so be sure to keep them busy by popping your questions into the Q&A section. Okay, so this is our agenda for today's session. So to ensure everyone on the call is across our reporting upgrade, I'm going to explain what Modern View reporting is and explain the project currently underway to make the move from Classic View to Modern View reporting. We're then going to get familiar with Modern View reporting by customizing a few reports. We'll then look at the custom report builder that's available in QuickBooks Online Advanced, and we'll wrap up looking at how you can extend your client reporting using a new tool in QuickBooks Online Advanced called Spreadsheet Sync. I'm sure you're going to like that one. Okay, let's start here with what is Modern View reporting. So Modern View reporting is fundamentally an upgrade to the QuickBooks reporting capability. Now, for many years, you've been using what we call Classic View reporting. It's done a good job. However, the technology it's built on actually limits our ability to innovate our reporting and deliver the functionality you've told us that you need. So when we consider the benefits of what Modern View reporting will deliver, they include better performance. So the ability to produce reports faster, and especially those larger report packs. Interestingly, I learned recently that on the Classic View platform, if a large report is being produced in the US, it could impact the performance of reports being produced here in Australia. So better performance, we're looking at that one. More customization. So we get that your clients often like a personalized report or a report that is tailored for them. So we want to make sure that you've got that capability in your reporting. And we also understand that sometimes you would like to manage who can access and edit certain reports in your practice. So we've added and will continue to add greater control over access. So when we look at the upgrade process to move from the Classic View platform to the Modern View platform, the project is being rolled out in fundamentally 3 phases. Now, the first phase relates to making all of the reports you have available today in Classic View also available in the new Modern View format. So in this phase, when you open a report, it will open in Classic View, but with the click of a button, you can easily view and customize the report in Modern View. In the second phase, you will see more and more of your reports opening in Modern View, but you can still switch them back to Classic View if you need to. And then the third and final phase is when all your reports open in Modern View and you're no longer able to switch back to Classic View. Most importantly, also in this phase, any custom reports you've created already will be available in Modern View, and additional functionality like scheduling report groups and having them automatically sent out, like you can do today in Classic View, will also be made available in Modern View. Now, if you're wondering where we're at today, we are here. And if you're wondering when we're planning to move into a third phase, currently that looks like it's a few months away, but we'll keep you posted as we get closer to moving into that phase. So as we do with all our projects, we outline an ideal state. And our ideal state for this project is that when the Classic View platform is eventually turned off, you don't even notice. You don't notice because you're familiar with Modern View. You've been using it for months, you're comfortable with it, and you're loving the additional customization functionality that's available. So to help us get on that path, today we're going to look around Modern View and start getting you familiar with how it works and what's available. So let's bring Trent into the conversation so we can start looking at how you can customize reports using Modern View. So welcome, Trent. Always great to have you on a Pro Power Hour with us. Today we're talking customization of reports. So tell us a little bit about what customization you're doing today with client reports in your practice.
Yeah, thank you so much, Megan, and thanks everyone for having me here. We are loving everything about the Modern View and the ability that it allows us to really get into the numbers and the nitty-gritty. So we'll touch on a few of my favorites as we go through, but if we're sort of just having a look at this particular slide to start off with the transactions without GST report, we love the ability to be able to add columns, remove columns, and even just go through and stepping in and adding things as simple as notes has been a real game changer for how we're working with our clients.
Fantastic. I love it. So why don't we jump in and have a look?
Yeah, let's do it. So in this one here, we're in an advanced file and we're going into Oasis Landscaping and Design. You can see that there's a few additional menu options in there because we're in the advanced files. We're going to jump into the reports, for that's what we're here for today. We're in the standard reports area here. As with advanced, you get a multitude of reports, as you can see there, all set up, ready for us to go. We've got the favorites at the top there where we can always star them in and out. We're going to kick off with the transactions without GST, and you can see that icon there. It's got launches in Modern View. So we're going to click into that one, and it's been one of the first reports that was actually set up with the Modern View, which is why we've had a bit of a chance to have a play around with it over the last little while. So you can see there that it's loaded, ready for us in the Modern View. But we want to kick things off by showing what we're changing from with the classic view. So we've switched back to classic view there. We're going to update our date range, but see when we make that change, we need to hit that run report option for it to be able to generate that report. So it's what we're used to, it's what we're comfortable with, but what we're going to go through and show you in the modern view is just how all of these features are available that we're used to and how we can go through and utilize them in the modern view. You can see here the customize report options that we've had, everything that we're used to, it's here, but now we're going to go through and show you in the actual modern view. So we'll switch to modern view, and here's the same report, but straight away you can just see how much cleaner and easier it is to see the specific report. And what I want to highlight here is as we update to the custom dates here, as soon as we change that date, it dynamically loads that report there ready for us to go through. So we don't need to hit that run report option anymore. So we're updated, point of a button, click of a button, we're ready to go through with those dates. Now heading across to the menu options here, there's 8 columns in there already for us. And look how easy this is to go through and update them. We're going to go and show the options that are available to be added in there. But to kick things off, we're just going to go through and remove a column. So you can see each time we click there, we're removing an additional column out of that report. So it's really easy to update that information. From here, we want to see the created user because with the transactions with our GST, if we're seeing a few problems, we want to understand who it is. And dropping and dragging allows us to go through and shift where that column appears in that report. So it's really easy for us to filter through and see who's making those mistakes with going through on them. The more actions button, there's obviously a lot in there for us to be able to go through. We've added a note. We're going to let Rachel know to be able to go through with that one. And then you can also see that we can email that off. So that information is saved. It's pre-populated the email details, and we've sent that across to Rachel with that note and all that customization ready to go.
That is brilliant. And I've got to say, we haven't looked into too much detail just yet, Trent, but the modern view report layout looks much cleaner and I think a little bit easier to navigate around. Do you find the same thing?
Definitely the case. Definitely the case.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's now get into more of the customization options that are available. So in this next little demo, we're going to be reviewing the display and compare options. We're also going to tap into Trent's favorite little color option here to be able to color code his negative values. We'll also add a logo and we're going to create a report group. So if you're ready, Trent, I'm going to hit the play button and you can take us through it.
So once again, we're in the standard here, the reports, and we're going to click on profit and loss. It doesn't have the icon there. So this loads in classic view. So everything that we're used to in running here, but let's jump across to the modern view. This is how we're going to do things moving forward. So we're going to jump in and do it in the modern view. You can see here, once again, it's that cleaner experience to be able to go through. It's the dynamic click so that you click the date and it updates there for you. We've got the display options, the compare, filter, and general options. We're going to start off with the display. And what we're looking at here is we're going to select classes. In this file, we've got it. We're actually following with classes. And when we load that, you can see commercial, residential, and unspecified. So one click of that button has brought up those options there for us. And as you'd expect, you can drill down into any information that's on there and it brings up the transaction report. And as you can see, it's got all of those customization features that we're going to jump through and go through to show you as we're working through here. So now that we've got that split out into classes or the display, we're going to go through and add in a comparison. So lots of different pre-fills there ready for us to do. We've selected one click, the previous year to date, and it's loaded not only the current information, but the previous year to date, and it's already split out under those classes. Not only that, you can see we're going to click into the percentage of income, and with that one click, it has loaded all of that across that whole report, ready for us to be able to go through and really dive into the numbers with our customers to understand how that business is traveling. Untick it, it updates the report straight away. So it's very easy to go through and navigate and update the information in that to suit. But this is going through to my favorite. It's such a simple one, but having it set up so that you can see the negatives in red, I think it's a real powerful way to be able to allow our customers to understand. And of course, we can add on the logo there, which is just a nice touch to give that familiarity for our customers. We're going to save that now. So we're going to update the report, save it for a name that's relevant for us. We're going to select that anyone within our team has access to that one. And we're going to create a new report pack. So you can see how easy it is here to create the reporting group. We're going to label it to suit our business. And now, as we save that one, not only have we created a new report, we've created a new report group. So when we go back to our custom report area, you can see that we've got the report group and the individual profit and loss with all of those customizations that we've created there, ready for us to run that report with one click.
Okay, well, that's pretty cool. So if you have got clients with classes and locations, they are fun to play with because you can really get some insights really quickly, like you were just showing there. So are you customizing client reports like any of this today, Trent?
Yeah, absolutely. And not just classes and locations. We're sort of keeping it nice and simple, high level, but there's a lot of display options, comparison options, and filtering that allows us to go through. So I think jumping through to this next area is going to really sort of just put the cherry on top of everything we're going over.
Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to now look at the filter option and how to add a condition. So this is probably one of my favorites, Trent, because I used to produce general ledger reports for just a few accounts, not the whole general ledger. So this is probably a little bit of nostalgia for me on this particular example. So let me press the play button and we'll have a look.
Well, with the general ledger, it's a standard report, so we're going to go across to the search bar to bring it up and see how easy it is to navigate through the reports area there. Once again, it's loading in the classic view. So because we're doing everything modern view now, click the option there, switch it across. But this is really powerful, and this is just a reminder of all of the different options that are available for everyone to utilize, depending on how they like to deal with their customers, what their customers are interested in. One click, the report dates are updated. We've got all of the column abilities for us to reorder, remove them. We're going to take a couple off here. So we're condensing it down so that it's relevant information in what we're trying to have a look at there. But what we're going to do now is go through and add on a filter. So this is what Meagan was talking about earlier, is that you can actually go through, and this is what's so powerful about this. We are selecting a filter that equals 3 specific chart of accounts. So we're doing staff, telephone, and wages. And you can see each of those as we're selecting it. When we click away, it's going to generate that report for us with just those 3 accounts. So that's really powerful in being able to go through and analyze information. Not only that, we're going to go through, we're going to add in some more information because we want to go through and really get a feel for what's going on in here. So I've added in the location column. It's at the wrong spot, so we're going to shift it across in the report. Drop and drag, really straightforward, easy to go through and update. And now we're going to add in an extra layer of that. We want to go through and add a condition. And this is a way for us to be able to filter the information in there. We're selecting location. And you can see there's different variables that you can use in those, choosing those conditions and filters. We've selected a specific location that we want to show. And you can see that that report has generated those 3 chart of accounts with that location, with all those columns that we wanted and none of the ones that we unticked. Because that's so good, we're going to save that moving forward. Updating the name there, saving it into our report pack, having it available for the rest of the team to be able to utilize that report. You can see it's all there preloaded from what we just did. And when we go back into the custom reports tab, it's there underneath that report pack, ready for us to be able to go through and with a click of the button, run that profit and loss with all of those customizations, run the general ledger. Everything is there with the click of a button.
Yay. Oh, well, I think that's super impressive. I do like the flexibility, like that must be key, particularly if you've got clients that have got specific requirements around what reporting they would like. So thank you, Trent. That was a quick little run around the modern view reports. I've got to ask you, Trent, what is your favorite customization feature? Do you have one? Is it still the negative thing, or is there something else that you're actually enjoying in the modern view reporting to this point?
The negative red is very dear to my heart. Like I do love that one,
It is.
but it's the columns, being able to adjust those columns and then filtering it really allows to deep dive specific information with it at that front level, not needing to go down, drill through, go back, drill down again, go back, drill down again. So I've got a handful of favorites, I've got to be honest.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing. So thank you, Trent, for helping out there and again, providing some insights as well as taking everyone through those couple of demos. So I'm now going to take everyone through the custom report builder in QuickBooks Online Advanced. Now, for those who might not be aware, last year we added 2 new products to the QuickBooks family, Ledger for your small or non-trading entities and Advanced for your larger small businesses or your mid-market clients. And as you would expect, there's a lot of additional functionality in the Advanced product to support a larger business. And the custom report builder is one of those features. So this functionality basically lets you create a report from a transaction type template or from scratch in QuickBooks. So importantly, you have access to QuickBooks Online Advanced in QuickBooks Online Accountant today. So the section called Your Books is an advanced file we provide to help you run your practice's books. So you can today jump into QBOA and head into the reports area where you'll see the report builder functionality. So let's take a look here. So in this simple example, we're going to create a report by transaction type, then check out the group by option, review a pivot table, display the pivot table as a chart, and then add the final chart to the performance center. So let's pop in and have a look. Okay, so here I am in the reporting area, and we can see this section called Custom Report Builder. Now, there's a number of reports that are provided for you, but you've got the option to create your own by clicking on this link. So you can create a blank report and start from there, or select a transaction type. So I'm going to select invoice, and that will then launch the modern view report. Not much information in this one, so let me just have a look at this financial year to date. And we can see my report, the invoice list here. We've got 7 columns. I'm now going to pop in and just remove a few of these columns just to make it really simple to view. So we'll take away number, we're taking away the date, we'll take away the opening balance and the shipping date. So we've got a really simple invoice list here. Okay, so from there, we're going to select the group by option. And here we're going to group by, we've got a few options that were available, but we're going to select the customer. So this will group our invoices by customer. So that's fine. You've also got the ability to edit group calculations, but I'm going to leave mine just as the amount. So from here, we can actually view this in a chart view. So if I pop into chart view, again, we can just see our listing of invoices by date range. But I'm going to go back into the table view and I'm going to select the pivot option. This is where you can create a pseudo pivot table if you like. So in this case, I'm going to select that the customer is the row and I want to show the amount. So I've really just summarized it by client to the total number of invoices. Again, if I pop into the chart view, you'll still see that this particular report is still showing by date. So I can pop over here and edit this to say I'd like to see it by customer. So very simple way of running a pivot table, but also viewing a chart. Now you can save this chart as a PNG file, but you can also add it to the performance center. So that means it'll be available on the Performance Center for your team as well as your client to view. So to find the Performance Center, it's in the reporting area, just under Performance Center. And we can see that our shiny new chart that we've just developed is available for, again, your team or your client to see. And there's a couple of little options here where you can edit the widget, you can export it, delete it, all of those sorts of things. So a little snapshot into what the custom report builder is capable of. Hopefully it's got you thinking about what's possible in the real world, so you can use that functionality as well. Okay, so I hope you're keen to check out that functionality. As I mentioned, you have access to the custom report builder functionality today in your QBOA file. So definitely jump in there and have a little bit of a play. Okay, we're now going to change gears a little and head into territory we think you'll love because it involves Excel. So let's bring Soonah in to talk about all things Spreadsheet Sync. So great to have you joining us today, Soonah. Spreadsheet Sync. Let's talk about that. As I mentioned, it's a new feature provided with QuickBooks Online Advanced. And if you don't have a client using Advanced yet, that's totally fine. Remember, you have access to this functionality as part of your QBOA file. Now, Soonah, you have a few clients using Advanced today. Why are you recommending Advanced to them?
I do, I certainly do, and we've had a good amount of time to play around in advance now, which is nice as well. But I'm glad that you mentioned it there, that as pro advisors we do have access to these advanced files, and you can start playing around even if you don't have clients on advanced yet. You do have access to what we're going to go through now. You've probably heard me talk about, but in the past I used to put everyone onto a plus file, so all clients would go onto plus, and I would just educate them on the classes and locations and all the options that you get with that. And as the pro advisor, the 50% discount, to me, it was a no-brainer. So then Advanced came along and I just do the same thing. So I have moved some up to the Advanced, but any new business that comes into our practice, I put them onto Advanced and show them all these features and functionality that we get, again, for that 50% pricing that we have as pro advisors.
That is brilliant. Okay, well, we're going to take everyone through the three key features of Spreadsheet Sync. So we're going to have a look at how you can create a report. We're going to have a look at syncing data, and Soonah, you've told me this is one of your favorite features already. And we're also going to look at running a multi-entity report. So ideal for those family groups, or whether you want to compare businesses that are in the same industry. So let me hit the play button and you can take everyone through it.
Awesome. Thanks, Meagan. So yeah, we've got the three styles of reporting in here, and it's in our reporting tab. You'll just notice now we have that additional one called Spreadsheet Sync. You do have to set it up the first time. It's under 5 minutes to set up, and we've already gone through. We can create just a one-way report. So I just call it like a standard Excel report, a two-way sync, and then a multi-entity report. So we're going to run through each three of those now, and you're inside your QuickBooks file. So I think that's the advantage to note. From there, we clicked on that open in Excel, and now it's opened an Excel file. We haven't had to jump out of our reporting. We haven't had to jump out of QuickBooks. It's all happening live in front of us. Once we click on the Spreadsheet Sync, you'll see over on the right-hand side, we have those three options that we mentioned. So first up, we're just going to run what I call like a standard, a basic report. You can select any of the companies that you've got access to, and it looks very similar to the interface once we're inside QuickBooks. We've got there all of our reports, and it's probably important to note here as well, any custom reports that you've set up, they're available in this function as well. So you can see there that we had an invoicing report that we've customized. We could pull that to Excel if we needed to. For the purposes of today, we're going to go a very standard report, a profit and loss. And again, we've got the same functionality that we have inside of QuickBooks. So we can use our filters. We've got our date range that we can choose from. Everything that was available inside QuickBooks, now inside the sync. You can also set those custom date range. So if you're doing something for tax planning or looking at a specific period, you can do it there. Lots of filters as you go down. So do have a little play in there. We're just going to run the standard profit and loss that we can see on the screen here. What we're now going to do is just show you how easily we've got that data into Excel, and now we can use all the functionality that Excel has to offer. So if I highlight all of the expenses here, maybe we want to turn this into a graph. I know clients are much more responsive to visuals than maybe a spreadsheet. Unlike myself, I love a spreadsheet. So we can see now we've highlighted, we're using the Excel functions to create those graphs. And again, we can change the title of those graphs. We can edit any percentages that we want. So any of the usual features you have in Excel, you have in here now as well. And just watching on the screen there, that automatic refresh, I do recommend that you turn that on. So what that will do is if someone's working in the background in the QuickBooks file, it will update in here as well, and you can do a quick refresh. I will note on that if you don't want anything to update or change, if you're doing reporting, maybe for client purposes, if you lock the date inside the QuickBooks file, none of those updates will come through because no one can make any changes in there. So a really quick overview, I think, first up of what you can do with a general spreadsheet sync. But I think, the next one that we're going to talk about, Meagan, is a real game changer.
Okay, let me hit the play button and we'll go into that one.
Okay, so same thing. We've done the first one. We've run the report. What we're going to do now is create and edit report. So this is what I call a two-way sync. So we're going to pull the data from QuickBooks, put it into Excel, make our updates, and then push it back into QuickBooks. So we're going to go here and we're going to look at a report, invoices and bills. Again, play around with there. You've got lots of options. The option we're going through today is to look at a bills and invoices, and we're going to show you how you can use the different fields, let's say classes and locations, to update that information. So here we go. It's pulled into our Excel. And if we slide over a little bit, we're going to see that we've got some blank fields that maybe we want to fill in. Classes and locations, for example. So you do have the option of custom field in here as well. What we're able to do from this screen is to pre-fill multiple lines at once using the drag and drop or by the item fields that are available. So for classes there, we've got residential and commercial. We've got our locations of the actual suburbs, and you can see how quickly we've got, 85 fields there that we're making sure that each one of them has a location and a class field added to it. I like playing around in here when I'm doing like catch-up files. It's kind of like a find and recode function. I use this instead of the reclassify function as well. What it allows me to do is to update multiple lines at once rather than individually. So we're running through the options there. If we scroll back over to the left-hand side of that spreadsheet, up the top left there, it says post. If you can't see, that's a little bit small. We do want to post all of these items back. So we're just dragging and dropping really quickly and saying we want all of these lines to post back any changes that we've made back into our QuickBooks file. And to do that really simply, we click on that sync spreadsheet, sync to QuickBooks, and you can see it took no time at all. And now all of those invoices and bills have updated all of those classes and locations that we've just done in, a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I love this feature. Could be very dangerous, but you saw how fast that was. Imagine how much time that would take if you had to do that individually by every record inside QuickBooks Online. So that's a ripper.
Absolutely. And as I said, because I do put clients onto the Plus or the Advanced, I really am getting them to start thinking about how they can get better reporting, whether it's the segments of their business or the sections. And what we can then do, if say I started someone today, I can actually easily export, update it to the previous quarter or the financial year and update a whole heap of information. So we're looking at that whole year with those classes and locations or custom fields. It's really quite powerful. And as you say, you're doing it in minimal time. So yeah, I really do. It is probably my favourite feature.
Excellent. Okay, so next we're going to have a look at multi-entity reports. So
yes, another favourite.
Click this one. Here we go.
So multi-entity report is exactly what it is. It's a multi-entity report. Think of this whether you've got a group of clients, maybe like a family group. They might have a trading entity, an investment entity, a self-managed super fund. You can pull them all in together. You can also use it for like-minded ones. So if you have a whole heap of hospitality clients, for example, and you want to compare incomes or just see what they're generating, I have used it for that. You are going and selecting all of the files that you would like to run this multi-entity report. And again, you've got the options of the dates. the reporting is not as broad as it is in the previous two ones discussed, but everything that you need when you're running a multi-entity report. So balance sheet and profit and loss. You can do comparative months, comparative periods, and you've also got the options of your grid lines, your panes. So do have a fiddle around if you go down on that right-hand side there. And what I love is now you have this Excel spreadsheet that is synced in line. Each, income and expense account is formatted perfectly. So anyone that's tried to dump out profit and losses from 3 different files and put them into Excel and have it all line up, you will feel my pain. This essentially does it nicely for you, which I really do like. And again, you've got all that function inside of Excel now if you want to. So I think it's really powerful once you start using it. I also have clients actually with different locations and ABNs on it. So I do use that, and I do like an end of month reporting where I can show them if certain income or expenses was in those different entities, what it would look like. And it's much easier to do that when these are sitting side by side.
Fantastic. Well, that is brilliant. And look, you really have just taken us through some of the benefits that you see. What would you think would be the greatest benefit you've found using Spreadsheet Sync? Is it being able to update data effectively?
Yeah, it's the update of the
like...
data, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
right.
just a time saver. It's not even a time saver. You're actually giving clients more valuable information. So they're getting the most out of their reporting. And for me, it's that education around you're running a file. Let's get the most out of it, not just for compliance and GST. And as I said, I have been using it very similar to the find and recode or reclassify. So when you're doing a catch-up file or you're adding in a new location, it's a quick overview report to see what's missing in those fields. It's really easy to see in Excel when a cell is missing. Drag and drop it, flick it back over, you're done in 5-10 minutes. And obviously the multi-entity reporting as well. If you've got use for that feature, it's very good.
No, that is brilliant. Thank you so much, Soonah. Clearly you're enjoying it, so that's fantastic.
Yes, it does get me excited, I know.
Excel, it does it every time, right? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm now going to take everyone through the reporting user permissions. So when it comes to reporting, for some clients, for some scenarios, you might like to control who can view and or customize the reports in QuickBooks. And this is where user permissions, or what we call internally role-based access controls, come into play. So I'm going to take you through how you can create a role and then apply certain permissions to it. Now, some user permissions are available in QuickBooks Online Plus. However, the ability to create a role and tailor permissions is only available in the advanced version today. So let's take a look so you know what's available. So here we are back in our Oasis Landscaping and Design client. I'm going to take you into the settings area and we're going to go into Manage Users. Now for this particular client file, I've only got a couple of users. So I've got one and their roles you can see there. I'm the primary admin, but Emily Everest has expense reporting only role. So if we go into the report roles area, this is where we can see all of the roles that are available. We can see the expense reporting only. And if I pop into this particular role, you can see that you've got controls over all of these areas within QuickBooks. I'm going to take you down to the reports area. And here we can see that in the reporting area, we can define who has got access to view information as well as customize information. So that's across expenses and suppliers, sales and customers, budgets, forecasts, and inventory. So that is how we define a role and then apply it to a team member. And this is where you add a role should you want to create one from scratch. Now, I've just jumped into QuickBooks Online as Emily. And so we can see Emily's access is very much cut down. We can go into the reports area and we can see that Emily has access to the Performance Center. If we scroll down, we can see that the only area she's got report access is in expenses and suppliers. So if we pop into one of these reports as Emily, what I wanted to show here is that there's very limited functionality. So she's got the more options area, but you can see she's unable to customize anything because we didn't allow that access. So that is a glimpse into the controls that are currently available. They will continue to be refined so that even more granular access will be provided in the future. So we've covered a little territory today, so let me quickly recap. We talked about the upgrade to the reporting platform that is happening at the moment. The classic view reporting platform is being replaced with the modern view reporting platform. This new platform will deliver better performance, more customization options, and greater user permissions or user access like we just saw. QuickBooks Online Advanced extends your reporting functionality with the addition of the custom report builder and the amazing Spreadsheet Sync. So I hope today's content has got you thinking about what additional or tailored reports you might like to create for your practice, as well as your clients. In terms of next steps, there's a few things we recommend you do. Firstly, jump in and have a play with customizing a report using the modern view functionality, especially with those clients who use locations or classes or projects. Reports where you can group by locations and classes can be really insightful. Even if you don't have a client using Advanced yet, you have access to Spreadsheet Sync through QBOA. So install the add-in and have a bit of a play there too. And in all transparency, the reporting team is still actively delivering modern view reports. So there's still a few things they're finalising. But should you come across anything that's not working as you'd expect, please provide all feedback to the customer success team so we can pass that on to the development team. I've actually let them know about a few things as I've been using modern view reports, and they've resolved them very quickly. And lastly, watch out for more information. So as we move closer to removing classic view, we'll keep you updated on what's happening and when. And we appreciate change can be annoying and disruptive. So be proactive and start getting familiar with modern view reports as soon as you can, like today. Now, since we dedicated this Pro Power Hour to reporting, we didn't get to touch on all of the new features that have been launched this quarter, and there've been heaps. So we think it's super important that you and your clients stay up to date so that you're getting the most out of your QuickBooks subscriptions. So as always, you can check out the latest product update information by going to the product update page on the website. You can also head to intuit.me/product updates. That'll get you there as well, or you can scan this QR code on the screen and that'll also get you to the product update page. So that brings us an end to this month's Pro Power Hour. I hope you found it informative and it's got you thinking about what reports you'd like to have a play around with in Modern View. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Trent and Soonah for sharing their experiences and helping out as well. Until next time, bye for now.